I think walking is the best form of exercise all around. Our bodies are designed to walk. It requires no equipment. Everyone knows how to do it. It's free. You can do it anywhere, anytime, and it carries the least risk of injury in any form of exercise. The only thing you really need for it is a good pair of properly fitting shoes. There's nothing worse than having footwear that doesn't work. I mean, an immediate problem is that they cause pain to your feet, but worse problems that may not show up until sometime afterwards, you can have knee pain, lower back pain, really any kind of musculoskeletal pain, as well as fatigue, which limits your ability to do the kind of walking that meets physical activity requirement. From the integrative medicine approach, we're always looking at simple, low-tech, non-invasive ways of improving health. And I think an obvious area in which to concentrate is designing really comfortable, effective footwear that can enable people to have an active lifestyle.
As a podiatrist, I've helped tens of thousands of people overcome pain and get back to living a healthy, active life. And I know that I can help you too. One of the common things that I've been treating for many years, which seems to be throughout the majority of the population and approximately 70% and over, is the excess pronation. And for those who don't know what excess pronation is, we'll do a demonstration later. Yeah. But basically it's the rolling from the outside of the foot or the shoe to the inside on an excessive manner. And basically that causes a chain reaction of postural effects through the foot, the knee, the hip and the back. And one of the main reasons for that is because the human foot was designed to walk on soft natural surfaces. And the most significant thing we have was a human footprint. So the human footprint is almost like an ergonomic device if you look at it. It cradles the foot, holds the arch in position, and it gives your foot something to leverage off to move from A to B with normal walking or even standing. So in the last, say, 200 to 1,000 years, all we've done is remove these natural surfaces, particularly with the industrialisation, hard concrete floors. And the most significant thing we've lost is a human footprint. So when you hit the ground now, instead of the ground contouring to your foot, giving you an ergonomic base, the ground doesn't move. So when you strike the ground, you actually have to conform to suit the ground, which creates that knock-on effect. The aided motion system, which is the key part of this product, is a combination of two design patented technologies. Firstly, we have the triplanar motion control system, which is built into the shoe via an orthotic. Triplanar motion, for those who don't know, basically means the foot and the whole body moves in 3 different planes at once. From a mathematical point of view, it's like an X, Y, Z on a graph. You can pinpoint everything. So basically, like we said on Rionda's foot, we didn't want to have too much movement at end range of motion in joints in the wrong planes. And these are controlled via this rear foot and midfoot section. And you can see there are some shock absorption parts on the bottom, but only very small, because shock absorption isn't the majority of the issue. It's only required here under the heel and again under the forefoot. Now I'll just show you on the sandal because I want to go to the first ray thing last. The triplanar motion control system is controlled here, in through the midfoot, and again we try and prevent excess rotation through the incorrect planes. I've drawn a dot on her knee, a line down the front of her shin or tibia, a cross on her ankle, and a cross on her second metatarsal. Now if we look at this curve here, or this curvature of this line, we call this excess pronation, or rolling inwards of the foot. It obviously rolls the shin in and the knee in. Now where we want Shondi to be is basically in this position. We'll pull that back, we'll also pull the other foot back and just get her to hold it there, and you can see how this line straightens up. The knee is now pointing in the normal, what we call sagittal plane, or front direction, and this line is running right over the second toe, so the knee and the second toe line up. Now if we let her foot just relax now, Shondi, you'll see that the foot rolls back in, and that excess pronation actually collapses the arch, puts a lot of pressure on the big toe joint, and this creates a lot of stress with all the musculature, the knee, and even the foot. Now what we're going to do is get Shondi in the Dr. Weil integrated footwear sandal and compare her to a regular sandal. So in this sandal here, you can see that the foot, the line is nice and straight, and basically it's like that because the foot is maintained from a side profile, from the heel to the midfoot, right up through the forefoot. And this basically controls the balance of the whole foot. Unlike this flip-flop, or what we call sandal, whereby there is no support, the foot is allowed to roll inwards, basically because there's no control around the heel or the midfoot or even the forefoot. So basically, this is what we want as far as alignment goes. What I'm going to explain now with regards to the Dr. Andrew Weil integrated footwear range is how the first ray plantar flexor zone works. Now, if you look at the position of this, you'll see it's under the big toe and there is a cavity here, which makes it easy for the big toe to plantar flex or push down during walking. Now, why is this important? Well, I'll show you why. We'll get Shonda's foot, I'll turn it to the side, and I want her to lift her foot up. And as you can see, it's very important for the big toe to extend itself and push down in this area. But when walking on hard, flat ground, this is not possible, so it tends to jam the joint, affecting the posture of the foot and the forefoot, obviously the midfoot, subtalar joint, right through the knee and the back. So when we have a look at Shonda's foot from the bottom, we want the big toe joint to be able to move back or flex forward in this direction. And again, if we put the Dr. Andrew Weil integrated footwear sandal on, you'll see right underneath her big toe, the plantar flexor zone, which makes it very easy for her when she steps up, and I'm going to assist her here so you can see it. Just flex your foot there, Shonda. That flexes the big toe down, pushing through the plantar flexor zone to allow plantar flexion of the first ray, which is very, very important for the propulsive phase of gait, which is the step-off phase when you're walking.
One of the things that I learned in my career of integrative medicine, I worked with an old osteopathic physician who was one of my mentors. And one of the things that he taught me was that when people come in complaining of knee pain, that may not be where the problem is, that the knee is the compensating joint for both the ankle and the hip. So if something's out of alignment here, you know, it can cause the knee to try to compensate. There's distortion and pain. And often people wind up having surgery on the knee when that wasn't really where the problem was.
The knee wants to go this way. So if we have this excess pronation rotating out to in, you can see the effect of the knee, which commonly causes pain around here, under the kneecap, and that common clicking and crunching sensation we feel. So the first thing that's going to break down is the hinge, because it doesn't have the ability to compensate.
My own interest in shoes is that I'm an active person. I hike, I walk on a variety of terrain, and I've had some bad experiences with shoes. It just didn't work for me. And when I find footwear that's really comfortable, it's obvious, and it's something that I want to wear all the time. I think if your feet hurt, life is miserable. I mean, it's that simple. Our feet are our connection to the earth, and our body rests on them, and so everything from the ground up really depends on our feet.